Good morning, children. Today we are going to start a new topic. Today we have to start part B in the lesson motion. In the last class, we have learned different examples related to rest and motion. But today I am going to define what is rest. An object appeared to be moving to one person, and the same object may be appeared to be at rest to another person. Let us discuss some examples. When a bus is moving on a road, the roadside trees appear to be moving backwards to the passengers. A person standing on the road finds the bus and the passenger moving forward. A person inside the bus finds his fellow passengers at rest. So, once again, we define motion. The motion of an object is perceived when its position changes continuously with respect to some stationary object. So, so the states of rest and motion are relative to each other. If you see here, you have to imagine this is stationary and the person from here to here he has come. If you observe here, again this is stationary and the person all the way from here to here has come here. So he is in motion and the house is at rest. Now we'll discuss about different types of motion. First one is linear motion. A body moves in a straight line path is defined as linear motion. Example, a motion of a moving car on a straight road. When you go to rotatory motion, the movement of any object about its axis is defined as rotatory motion. Movement of a merry-go-round. When you go to oscillatory motion, is defined as a to and fro motion of a body about its fixed position. Example is vibrating strings in stringed instruments. Next, when it comes to vibratory motion, here if a body has a vibratory motion, it moves to and fro about its mean position, swinging on a swing. Next comes to periodic motion. Motion repeated in equal intervals of time is defined as periodic motion, the Earth on its orbit. Now, when you go to circulatory motion or circular motion, a body has a circular motion if it moves around a point. Example, motion of a spinning top. To understand about motion, we have to know the location of an object. To locate an object, we have to specify some suitable reference point. For example, if our house is 1 kilometer east of a railway station, so railway station is a reference point to our house. So always it cannot be a railway station. It can be any other reference point. So here the reference point is called the origin. So when you come to the distance, distance is the length of the path traversed by an object in a given interval of time during its motion. Suppose if you observe this car traveled its journey. So let its reference point be as O. From O to A it covered 20 kilometers in 1 hour, and A to B, imagine 20 kilometer, it took 1 more hour, and B to C 20 kilometer, it took 1 more hour. So from O to C in 3 hours of journey, it covered 60 kilometers. When you go from C to D, the distance covered is 30 kilometer. Imagine here also it has taken the time as 1 hour. So the total distance covered from O to D is 60 plus 30, that is 90. The time taken or the time interval for this journey is 4 hours. Here displacement. is the shortest distance between the initial position and the final position of the object in a specified direction. When you imagine the same car, it started its journey from O and reached to the final destiny D. So, according to the definition, the shortest distance between initial position and the final position of the object. So, initial is O and the final is D. So, what is the distance covered here? 60 plus 30, 90. So here displacement is 90 kilometer. When after completing his work, the driver returned. So it came to C. Now the car has stopped there. Now when you come to this situation, the initial position is O and the final position is C. So now what is displacement here? Initial is O, final is C. The displacement of the car in this situation is 60 kilometer. Whereas when you imagine if a distance covered after going to D, the total distance covered from O to D, it is um, 90. From D to C, it has covered still more 30. 90 plus 30, it is 120. So when you consider it is distance means it is 120, whereas when you come to the displacement, it is only 60. This is the difference between distance and displacement. Imagine you're started from the house to go to school. So your house is located 3 kilometers away from your uh, school. So you have to, if you want to go to school, you have to travel 3 kilometers all the way. Now, after completing the school in the evening, you want to go to your park to play there. So from school to the park where you want to play in the evening, it is 4 more kilometers. The total distance by evening you covered from your home, it is 3 plus 4. So this is 7 kilometers you covered from school to park. But while you're going home, you want to choose a shortest route. So from park to school, your shortest distance is 5 kilometers. So here the total distance covered from house to park is 7 kilometers, whereas when you come in the sense of displacement, that is the shortest distance covered between initial and final. That is here initial is your house and the final destination in the evening is park. So the displacement is 5 kilometers. This is one more illustration to make you understand the difference between distance and displacement. Here to make you understand more about distance and displacement, if you are standing here and making an angle with the horizontal, this is your angle, you have thrown a ball into the air. So let the ball has taken a path in this way and reach to the ground after a while. So this is the B. So now here when you want to know about the distance covered by a ball in the air, it is B to S and S to A. So this is the distance covered by the ball ASB. Whereas when you want to calculate displacement, your final position is B. So and initial position is A. So that means the displacement is AB, whereas distance is ASB. This is the difference between distance and displacement. One more example to make you understand. Already we have learned physical quantities in the last lesson. Let us once again we discuss here scalar quantity. What is scalar quantity? The physical quantity which does not require any direction for its specification is called a scalar. For example, time, mass, length, area, distance, etc. That means it gives only a numerical value. Whereas when you come to the vector quantity, the physical quantity which has magnitude as well as direction. So here it gives magnitude as well as direction, that comes under vector quantity. These are the examples: displacement, velocity, acceleration, force, etc. Now let us discuss the differences between distance and displacement. So here distance is a scalar quantity, that means it gives only a numerical value. It will not give any direction. Whereas when you come to the displacement, it is a vector quantity where it specifies magnitude as well as direction. So distance can never be zero or negative. That means whatever the distance covered will be not be zero, whereas displacement can be positive, zero or negative. Distance can have any value depending on the actual path traversed. So displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position of the object. Here the SI unit of distance is meter, whereas the displacement unit is also meter. Here, this is a vector. A vector can be represented as a directed line segment here. Its length from A to B, its length indicates its magnitude, and the arrow indicates its direction. The point A is called the tail and the point B is called the head. So vector is represented with a directed line segment. In the higher classes, you will be learning in detail about these vectors. Here, to make you understand how to draw the displacement vectors, here are two situations of a journey was given. Here, if you imagine this is point A and this is point B. So actual distance covered will be from like this. But if you want to draw the displacement vector, the displacement vector will be from A to B. So when you come to this situation, here the journey taken by a car, the distance covered will be in this way. Here A is the initial point and B is the final point. Distance covered will be the path, like this it is represented. But if you want to draw a displacement vector from A to B, you have to draw the displacement vector like this. So the displacement vector representations. Thank you, Ma. We are going to meet in the next online video class.